So who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are we? My name's Matt.
My name is also Matt.
My name is John Comulata. I am 25 years old.
Mookie Loughran, 23.
Alright, I'm Mark. I'm 25.
My name is Matthew Van Vorst. I'm 29 years old.
I live in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Astoria, Queens.
I live in Brooklyn. I live in Parksville.
Cool.
I live here in Astoria.
So I moved here a year earlier than Matt did in a different place, so I've been here for nearly 3 years. Matt's been here for nearly 2 years.
So how did you come up with the idea for ASS, the Astoria Sketch Society?
So I went to Emerson College for screenwriting, and there's a screenwriting club there called Spec. And basically each week someone would bring either a spec script of like an existing television show or an original pilot or sometimes a feature film, and we would essentially assign, it was in a classroom, they'd put the script up on the LCD screen so everyone could see, and we'd assign parts and do basically a table read, and then everyone would give you notes. And it was one of my favorite things about school, because I didn't have any writing classes my freshman year, but going there and working with the upperclassmen and hearing their notes, even if you just go and you watch other people workshop people's work, it was so informative. And I honestly believe it's a huge part of how I've grown as a writer, that was one of the early things I did. And so since graduating, I've missed that, and Matt and I had talked a lot about it, and so ASS, the Astoria Sketch Society, has been in the works and on our minds for a while, and we're very happy that it's off and running.
I was really invested in if there were a time once a month where that loose community could start to come together in a way that is about everyone's work. Right. I feel like that can reinforce that sense of community and maybe, create a stronger team over the course of time. And also can help us to, at least in a small creative sense, pay people back a little bit for all the great work that they've done for us for really nothing but the passion of it.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a writer for Upworthy.com.
For a living, I'm a freelance filmmaker.
I work as a production coordinator for a documentary company called Warrior Poets.
I write promos, write and edit promos at Nickelodeon.
Primarily, I have 6 jobs, but most of them are in teaching theater and writing to kids, teaching artistry. That's most of what I do. Before that, I was just doing the bartender thing for a while. I think that really works for some people, didn't really work for me.
So when did you guys meet each other?
What age do we put that at?
We met, I think we knew each other a little in middle school, but we didn't really talk, and then we became friends in 2004.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
We had the same Latin class, and also we were in that class together for basically every year of high school after that, and so that's sort of how our friend group started.
Ugh. How did I meet these guys?
I met Matt Kenny 3 or 4 years ago. We worked together at a reality show company.
So I met McKenny at college. We had every class together, and then we started hanging out more and more, and then after college, we were both from around the same area, so we hung out, and then, started working on web series with him and that kind of stuff.
And we were just kind of fast friends. We both loved comedy, we both loved screenwriting, we both wanted to kind of get out of that company and do cooler stuff. And then, almost by coincidence, we both moved into Astoria and were able to stay in touch and keep working together and stuff.
So I did some summer theater with Matt Pridgy, and then they moved down the block from me. Mm-hmm. So I met up with them, and that's that.
Yikes. I met Matt Kenny sophomore year of school. We had writing for TV together.
I joined the theater group that Matt was with, and we were doing shows together, and we were doing shows in school, and so since early high school, we've been doing bits and stuff together. It's been a basis of our friendship for a long time.
Collaboration and community, I think, are important things.
The big question is, why do you collaborate?
Because writing is really, really lonely and isolating.
Oof. I collaborate to put my degree to use. Is that a degree for
I think a lot of writers need validation.
No one can really write by themselves. I think it's always helpful, no matter what type of writing you're doing. It's always helpful to bounce off of other people.
Everybody who goes into art is, I think, the kind of person who's just kind of thirsting for some sort of validation in their lives. That's why you hear so many stories about like sad poets.
Yeah.
And sad comedians, sad clowns. You know, we're all looking for some sort of validation, whether it be for talent or for effort or anything like that. A laugh is a validation, that kind of thing. And when you're a writer, you don't really get that a lot because you're just kind of alone in your bedroom working. It's like the art form that has the least immediate validation for you.
I collaborate because it feels so good. It feels really good to be able to be that voice for somebody else to say, hey, did you ever think of this idea? Or this is amazing. Like, have you thought about putting it somewhere else? I love being able to do that, and it's so good to get feedback. When you hit a wall, somebody else knows how to break through it like 10 times out of 10.
I like to collaborate because collaboration brings new ideas together. And it's not, if I'm working by myself, I kind of have a one-track mind, and then you don't really get to unlock so many doors. But by collaborating, you get a ton of ideas flowing in, and that helps to develop your or my idea into something completely new and something way more engaging.
Right.
I think inspiration happens often. That's one of the reasons I expect I'll always live in cities, because walking down the street, especially in New York, you just see something crazy happening all the time.
In particular with something like sketches or any sort of writing for the screen, it's never really meant to be by itself. You're never really meant to read it. It's meant to be performed. So hearing voices play the characters and having the whole thing in some way come up on its feet is an extremely invaluable part of the process, because it becomes clearer in your head.
Like if you draw a picture, you can show it to somebody and they're like, oh, that looks amazing. If you write something, it's like, well, I gotta see it on the screen, you know what I mean? So you get together with a lot of like-minded people and you can work something out, and A, it feels good to just get laughs in a room, but B, it's also like, I don't know, it feels validating in your life choices, because you can sit down with a good friend and be like, all right, how do we figure this out? How do we get better at this? And you just learn and grow from it. I think it's an important process, because I think all art is collaborative in some way. Writing the least of which, but I think it's still an important element of it.
Cool.